feel it.
Can you feel it?
I can feel it.
Can you feel it in the fucking air?
There was a moment there I thought you were going to punch me in the face.
I think I was going to cry.
I can feel it.
I was getting emotional. I could fucking feel it. I can
You were
feel it in
like passionate and going like this, and then I thought, is he going to punch me in the face? I mean, I didn't really think
I'll
that.
punch everybody. Oh, I'm all perclept and all in
You're
an uproar.
sweaty now. And
I get all worked up.
you want some chocolate?
When the Jacksons say, can you feel it? No, those are your chocolate. I don't want to fuck.
Well, I've got 2 chocolates.
I'm not even on mic. I'm not even fucking on mic.
You're feeling it. You're feeling it so much you don't even know where the mic is.
I was
You're sweaty. You don't know.
That was
doing the thing.
seconds and minutes of me without any goddamn music or any mic. There was nothing.
You had your inner music happening. I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How do we do that? We just bring in her audio, right? Doesn't matter. I'm just off camera. I mean, really, you could pretty much pan off me onto her, and the podcast stats would probably go up.
It's symbolic because that's how we met. You were off camera making me laugh in the Sprite commercial. We've said this before, but I watched $60,000 come in all year because we were together after that.
This is the commercial we met. This is the commercial we met on. How it all happened. We booked the commercial together, and we filmed it together. But the only part they used was a part where she was laughing to one of my jokes
off camera,
like not part of the script or the commercial. I just was making her laugh, and they were recording her. And then I had to watch $60,000 trickle in over a few weeks or a few months, and I was broke. I needed money, and I still have
you know what?
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
You support me.
Really hot right now.
Look at all the love and support you give, and then I go and make a ton of money.
Yeah,
it's
great.
Just nothing's changed.
It's amazing how it's
really
a big fucking circle of life.
Wow.
Well, you kind of saw it coming. You should have.
We should like turn the tables, and I'll do something off camera for you and shake my booty and make you laugh, and then we'll do some porn or something.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that I can have you do off camera for me. Speaking of which, how's your experiment coming? Your sexual deprivation experiment, where you're seeing how long you can go without having sex with your husband?
I can't have sex with you if I'm in New York City.
How? You were only there for 3 days. What happened for the week and a half before that?
You think it's like?
And what happened how many days have you been back?
Well, you've been working.
How many days? Just answer the question. How many days have you been back?
1.
You didn't get back from New York yesterday.
Yeah, Friday night. So a day and a half.
It's 2 days, Jenna.
Yeah, I walk in the door Friday night, and it's kids' bedtime. I pass out.
I should have had it right.
The next
I
day,
should have had it within hours of you arriving.
And with your mom, and then we come home, and it's kids' bedtime, and your mom's here. Like what? And then I pass out putting the kids down. 2 nights I pass out putting the kids down. And now it's today, and the kids were here. Kid birthday party. We come back. Podcast. When do you want me to have sex with you?
You want me to work out the
I'll
sex
print
part
out my schedule
and
for
the
you,
fucking
and then
scheduling of
you
it?
Show me when you want me to have sex.
It's
with
fine.
You.
You can keep your experiment going. We'll see how long it lasts until I lose my fucking mind.
Until your balls just explode.
Yeah.
Too much semen in them.
Oh, that's amazing. We were in the car having a talk about like power struggle and the idea of relationships and who wears the pants in the family, and the theme that continually comes up in our life, which you all have heard before and which is boring. But in the middle of it, I think we were on hold at a cafe. I was trying to check for reservations. And so we were on hold. We were talking in the car.
But it was Bluetooth. Speaker was on.
So I
could hear the other line of the phone.
So we could hear the phone was out loud in the car. We could hear the person, and so we're talking, and then
we're talking about
the power struggle
in the marriage.
Yeah, we were talking about like who holds the conch, like.
And I still don't know. Is it conch or conch?
Is it conch?
I still need to look that up. But anyway,
he'll know. Is it conch or conch? Conch.
Okay, conch.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
You win.
So we were talking about who holds the conch, which a marriage is nothing but really moments of who holds the conch, and that it should change all the time. It should never be one conch holder, despite your opinions.
That would be totalitarianism,
right? Or dictatorship, or yes,
same thing.
Or a
fascism.
Nefarious monarchy. Okay. And the person came on the phone, and I said, "Yeah, I'd like to see if you guys are open tonight for dinner." You were driving. And she said, 1 second, ma'am, let me check. Because I guess I have kind of a high register voice. And Jenna thought that was just the funniest fucking thing she'd ever heard.
Right when we were in the middle of talking about who wears the pants in the family, and he said, it was a guy, it wasn't a girl. And that was the thing, too. It was a man on the other side.
It was a guy?
Yes.
And
he said, let me check, ma'am. 1 moment.
That's right. It was a guy.
We were going to eat at a hotel restaurant.
That's right.
So we were calling the hotel to find out. Anyway.
That's right.
It was
So anyway,
classic.
I immediately pulled over the car and took down my pants and showed her my cock just to prove that it was still there.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
And then I screamed, opened the car door, and ran for the hills.
People liked the last podcast. Everyone's a lesbian.
Oh, good.
Felt good to come out like that.
Yeah.
That was an important thing for us.
Mm-hmm. You want to know? Before it was posted, I went and visited your mom at work.
Yep.
And I was driving home from a meeting, and I was going to pass right by.
Yeah.
So I texted her saying, "You down for a quick hug?"
Yeah.
So I went, and there's a 99-cent store right next to where she works. So she's like, "Yeah, let's go to the 99-cent store." I said, "All right." So we were walking, and we go in there, and we're chatting. And then she's took something that I had said and then expounded on it philosophically. And we're standing there by these no-name brand Ziploc bags. We're standing between Ziploc bags and like coffee filters at the 99-cent store with some rotten chocolate hanging on the walls in the aisles as well. And she just stopped, and then she was like, "Yeah, I get it." And then she went into this whole like philosophical thing about energy. And when you're putting energy out, you get energy in. And it was just like this awesome thing that I just wish I had a camera filming, because it just felt like a scene from something. The two of us in the middle of the 99-cent store
Having a philosophical discussion about energy.
Yeah.
So my mom loved the podcast. She listened to it. I didn't know, I haven't talked about growing up in a gay household or with a gay mom. I don't talk about it to a lot of people. I don't not talk about it. Just it comes up when it comes up. But I haven't talked
Like talking about having brown hair.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter to me in any way. It's in actual fact, the beauty of it is that I very early on learned to not have any intolerance or bigotry or prejudice towards anyone. I'm like, all bets are off in my world. Like, I only see the character of the person. But I wasn't sure how my mom would feel about talking about all this stuff. I did ask her first, right? I didn't just spring it on her. I did ask her, and she was like, "Yeah, fine." But then she saw the podcast, and she fucking loved it. She was like, she thought it was great to talk about, and she thought it was an interesting subject. She loved it. And the thing that's the most interesting about all of that is that I was really cautious to not use any derogatory words in the podcast. And I think there was once where I was describing how the terms she uses, and I bleeped them out as a courtesy so no one would be offended. But my mom is how families have those. Oh my God, I thought about this. How families have those parents where it's like, hey, they love their mom and dad, but their parents have older school sensibilities.
Yes.
Like, I have friends,
though great people.
Yeah.
They have like my parents, your mom and dad both have politically incorrect commentary about things.
I know so many,
though kind
right.
and loving.
I know
and
so many
non-judgmental.
writers in Hollywood that say like, oh, they love their mom and dad, but their mom and dad still talk about blacks and Jews as if it's 1952. and they say like, even though they love their parents, this is something they always have to work on their parents on, to like educate their parents about like, Dad, the world has changed. Well, people can have any sexual orientation, and we're all inclusive now. But my mom is the weird reverse opposite in that she uses the derogatory terms about gays as a gay person. She's gay.
But she says it lovingly.
She's not derogatory.
She uses derogatory terms in an affectionate,
because she's an
old
school hippie lesbian who uses those terms. Like, just like a black guy from the South, the terms that he uses other terms.
To say
right.
Here.
The point is that I have the weird thing of saying, "No, Mom, you can't say that. you can't say that, Mom." And she's like, "Fuck you! Why can't I say it?" She's like, "All my friends are," and I'm like, "Oh, you can't." Oh, God. Okay.
I was talking to a friend of mine who's a gay man, and I was asking him, what's the deal with this? Like, because within the gay community, I hear them use these words to reference themselves, like your mom does.
Yeah.
But he's a younger generation than your mom. He's like younger than me.
He's new school gay.
Yeah. And
he's generation gay.
And then
is that right?
And he was telling me how he was in a restaurant and referenced himself as a bleep, a word that starts with the letter F. And another gay friend of his, and he was like, "That's what I am." And then another gay friend of him was like, hey, don't call yourself that. He's like, I'm me calling myself that.
Honestly, I need a fucking manual sometimes.
Yeah.
I went to a comedy club the other night, and it was an African-American comedian, and it was all a black crowd. It was all his friends, and it was all his troupe and his comrades. And he used the N-word maybe 20 times in a 15-minute set. And every time it was in an endearing way.
Right.
And I've known that for years. I mean, being a fan of Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy, and it's not like I was the first time I'd ever heard it. I've been hearing it my whole life as a fan of the greatest comics of our time. But it still is like, man, where's the fucking manual? Like, how do you ever know?
You know what I think it is?
You never fucking know.
Here's
I never know.
I think there's a slice of humanity. One part of them can think in differences.
Yeah.
And understand intention.
Yeah.
And the other side solely only comprehends on a literal level. And if you say something, then that's what it means because you use the word. And they do not have any ability to differentiate between intention, context. And those are the people that take clips of people saying one little thing and broadcast it as if that person's not a criminal. And they never consider context, intention, anything. And I just think that's what happens. And that part of humanity upsets the other part of humanity that goes, no, I got what he meant.
How about this guy? How about our dog who's fucking prejudiced?
He is prejudiced.
How about prejudiced dogs?
Yes. Have you ever had, oh my God. He's prejudiced against chicks with bad hair. Which, he's starting to turn on me because my hair is just, I don't know what's happening.
And he's one to talk.
Yeah, he sure is.
Okay, but no.
That's the pot calling the kettle black.
How about that awkward thing where it's like the dog doesn't bark at anybody but then barks at the Mexican gardener, and you always feel uncomfortable. Inevitably, you feel like, oh no, it's not like I trained. No, I don't. You feel like you have to like backpedal on the dog. No, it's not because you're Mexican. I don't even know why he's barking at you. Right? I mean, it's the lawnmower.
Because
he's
walking into our property, the gardener.
But there's like 10 people around, and then just the Mexican gardener walking. Like, ah! And you're like, okay, it's not because. And I've totally had where it's like a room full of people all hanging out.
And they'll pick one out.
And it'll be like one black guy will walk in and the dog will bark. I'm like, it's not like I trained him. And it's totally awkward.
But it also happened with the girl with the really bad hair.
There was a girl with really bad hair the other day in a cafe. I was with the dog. It was an outdoor cafe. The dog's name is Rocco. And I was with Rocco and this girl with chia pet hair cut into a cheese fucking wedge. It was like a cheese wedge chia pet hair. She walked in and there was 30 people there. She walked in and Rock was like, rah, 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 and the girl got totally self-conscious. And I wanted to say,
because there's something that like makes you introvert when a dog singles you out.
You
you're
always
like,
feel,
what is it about me?
He's like, is it me? Is it because? And I was like, I want to say like, oh, he just does that when people walk in fast.
Pot calling the kettle black.
And my subtext was like, and you have really bad hair. And actually, it looked like a buffalo had walked in. And I understand why the dog got mad because it literally looked like a woolly mammoth had kind of like meandered in. It was the worst chia pet hair I'd ever seen.
Which would be a threat to his survival.
Yeah, it was like a
Hence
mammoth.
his attack. A woolly mammoth.
A woolly mammoth had walked in. Of course, he should bark. So, yeah. So I don't like it when the dog, and you always feel like you have to justify it. Like I didn't teach him to bark at Mexicans or blacks.
Oh, sorry. You get really like ass kissy. Like I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I mean, you'll notice it's your hair later, but I'm sorry.
You made some notes.
I know. I never make notes for podcasts.
Never. Jenna just lets me do it.
He's the note maker.
I make notes of things to not even talk to her about beforehand. I just sort of spring it on her because it's funnier when I lob her softballs so she doesn't even know it's coming.
Well, I feel like I'm always attacking you.
Really? I always think I'm attacking. I always feel like I'm kind of like baiting you a little bit or something, and I feel bad about that. But I get off on watching you. I get off on teasing you. It's like a.
It's okay. I don't mind.
It's like I'm a 17-year-old in the school ground still pulling your hair.
My hair.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here if I minded it. But I will let you know. But I was sort of like thinking of some things that drive me crazy about you.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to
hear. But then
I
thought about something about myself that I can't quite is really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I do something so annoying and I don't know how to solve it.
What is it?
Because it's a physical deficiency I have. I have a physical disability.
Oh. I probably have a note on it somewhere, but why don't you tell me anyway?
Well, my physical disability woke you up the other night.
What's your physical disability? Let me think about that for a second. Oh, you're fucking clomping. Oh, yeah, you have...
I don't know what's wrong with me.
You're a clomper. You walk
I have
like
the heaviest footsteps. And now I'm so introverted about it. Like, I walk and I'm like...
You got so defensive, but you were clomping through the house. You
No,
clomp.
my legs weigh a million times. I don't know why.
You clomp. You have
Did
a weird.
I always?
Always.
Or
You've
do we
always
have an
clomp.
echoey house?
No, you have always been a clomper
Always
when you walk.
before children?
Yes, you clomp.
Oh.
You have a
I
clomp
only now
walk.
noticed it.
And I always say, like, why do you have to clump? And I'm sleeping, and you were like, gunk, 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 gunk. And in the nicest way possible. I was dead.
You weren't?
Jenna Elfman, in the nicest way possible, being woken from a dead sleep because you were clomping to the house, I said, hey, light on the feet, please, or something like that. And you were like,
You get really pissy when you're in that about to fall asleep
Yeah,
thing.
I do.
Like if I'm on my computer in bed, you're like, it's so bright.
I do.
And I'm like,
I do. You do it.
dim, sorry, dim.
Dim.
And then it's like, I'm clicking, doing research, and you're like, it's clicky. You're clicking.
This is you as I'm falling asleep. That's you.
That's what it sounds like
That's
to a
you?
sensitive. Look at you.
That I'm so. I'm still
Jesus.
sweating.
Oh my God.
I had an audition the other day, and I wish I could take the. I had an audition. It was 100 degrees outside, and I had to wear a suit, and all the actors had a choice of being together in a small room to work on a ridiculous amount of lines to memorize. Or they could be outside and spread out and work on lines privately. So all the actors
While
were outside.
melting in 100-degree weather.
Melting in 100 degree. And then so you're outside I was outside for 45 minutes working on my lines, get brought into a room, and you just get stood up against a wall, and it's the producers and the casting director, and there's no like sitting down, get your moment. It's like, let me know when you're ready. And I had flop sweat. You ever had a thing where you run, and then you stop? And then it goes, gong. And so I arrived at the audition, or I'd been working on it outside, but I arrived in the room, stood against the wall in the suit, 100 degrees outside. The room, of course, doesn't have air conditioner because it makes a sound for the camera. So it's a relatively warm room, too. So maybe the room was 85 and it was 100 outside. And I read my lines with sweat dripping down my face. It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, that must have felt great for your morale.
I wanted to.
Makes you want to just keep doing that, doesn't it?
Those fuckers. They're such fuckers. They're such fuckers. They're such fuckers, what they do to actors. I was like, all right, you guys are fuckers. But the other fuckers. So
I understand.
okay, so what was the things that you were making your notes about? So talk for a minute so I can cool down.
I've got a few things here.
Oh, here. You know you're gonna need your glasses because you can't see.
I can see fine, motherfucker.
You can? I can have Moo hold
I
them
can
for you.
see.
You sure?
Moo's too busy looking at his watch.
Can you tell me what the deal is with your glasses? Why you need 7 pairs of glasses to do the same thing? I don't understand. It's a confusion to me.
Okay, so if I leave them out here and I'm in the bathroom, I need glasses in the bathroom. And then if I'm laying by my bed and I wore the glasses from the bedroom out to here, so now both pairs are out here, and then I go to bed,
So-
I need a pair by my bed. And then I wear them around the house, and then I take them off. And so they end up in all these different
Okay, so
places.
explain
So I
something
just
to me.
want a million
Okay.
so that I don't have to keep walking around the house trying to find glasses
No,
while I'm
I-
trying to find my phone.
I hear you. I hear you. And I appreciate you going over that with me and describing it, but I have more questions about this.
All right.
So I said, when you said, I think I'm going blind, and I was like, okay, and I just let you talk about it. And then a year later, after you said, I really can't see a fucking thing anymore, and I said, why don't you get the corrective surgery? And you said to me, you saw an eye doctor who said you don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't understand how, there's a lot about life I don't understand. If there's surgery that makes it, that you go from can't see to see, and you can't see.
No, I can only subtly not see. It's just going fast.
That's you.
Have you had your eyes checked lately?
Yeah, I've had 2010, which is better than 2020 my entire
Shine
life.
the light over here for a second.
I've had 2010 my entire life, and I'm now the guy who finally, last year, had to go to my Kindle and be like, what's the next bigger font? And then,
Okay, so that's all I'm talking
and
about.
then I had to go even one bigger than that. So I'm now not 2010
Okay.
anymore.
Okay.
I'm probably 2020.
So why are you so judgmental of my vision?
It's
the
not,
guy
it's just
said the
funny.
LASIK is like the side effect or the potential
The side effect is vision.
damage.
The
or
side effect is
something.
vision. He didn't want to fuck with that.
The potential side effect or the potential downside is worse than the improvement I'd get from it. Okay.
The downside is how you can see. That's the downside. So listen, there's going to be a side effect, Jenna. Here's the thing. You're going to be able to see now.
You know, was really old.
You're going to be able to see, and you won't need glasses anymore. So you may want to weigh your options with your husband because you're going to be able
have
to
the up to the minute
you're gonna
news on LASIK.
You're not going to need to put on 7 pairs of glasses on and off to do daily activities. So this is going to cause a lot of differences in your life. You're actually going to be able to see things. So you may want to sit down with your husband.
Well, look, I can get one of those fucking granny chains that go around your neck, but I ain't going to do it.
No, it's not going to.
So I'd rather just have 1,000 pairs laying around the house.
It's not just going to have your granny. It's going to be your glasses and your phone around your neck, so you can always find it. You don't have your phone. Okay. So there, I got my my baiting in. Now tell me about what's happening with the buddy over here with the Rocco. He never gets out of his spot.
Rocco, go lay down.
Go get in your spot.
He's like, I smell chocolate. No, you don't. We always have chocolate. Go lay down.
Do you guys know that I had to get my dog's stomach pumped twice in the month of July? His stomach had to get pumped twice in July.
He ate chocolate, and it wasn't like we were being irresponsible. He sought that shit out.
He would find it in backpacks that were hidden away. Yeah. And one day, I have this really fancy dark chocolate that I always keep. I'm a big dark chocolate nut, and he broke into the dark chocolate and ate. It's 88% dark chocolate. He had the entire bar, and he was like spinny-eyed, like he was running in circles. It was too much for his little heart. And so I came home, saw what happened. I called Jenna. I was like, "Oh God, what do we do?" And I was like, because part of me was like, "Hey, if you're that fucking dumb, if there's one thing you can't have as an animal, and that's the one thing you want, then that's natural selection." But Jenna was like, "He has to go to the vet." I was like, "All right." So he got a stomach.
You know, you got weird shit with dogs.
No, I just don't
Let's
have.
Talk about Willie.
I just don't have patience for dogs being dogs.
All your crimes on the canine.
Willie was a pug that we used to have.
He was a black pug. We had a fawn pug and a black pug, and Willie was adopted. And he had some leg hip issues.
Probably caused by me with what I did.
I don't even want to talk. Actually, I don't want to talk about that.
No, it'll get me in trouble with people. It'll get me. Like, I'll get mail.
Stop
it was unintentional. I just want to say it was unintentional. It was unintentional. What I did was unintentional.
You were low IQ in your logic on that. You thought it was going to be a really good idea.
All right, here, let me just say what it was.
No, I can't. I can't. People will fucking not watch the podcast because they'll hate you so much.
No, because it's not intentional.
It doesn't matter.
What do you think, Moo? Should I not say it?
No, don't do it.
Really?
No.
But you...
No. Can we talk about me cradling your balls the other night?
No. No, we can't talk about that. Let's talk about how I torture animals instead. Okay, what do you guys want to hear? Cradle balls or torture animals? I have a feeling it's going to go towards cradling the balls. I have a feeling I'm going to lose this one. You don't want to hear about my animal torturing? Aww.
It's not really hilarious.
It's not. It was an accidental thing. And he was fine. He turned out to be fine. He just was forever had a slight hitch in his giddy up. he was slightly paralyzed forevermore after that. No.
It was just, okay.
Okay, so cradling the balls?
Well, this is just a one-off. This does not open the door to a full, run of comedy necessarily.
I don't even remember exactly what happened.
I for some reason, what's the Yiddish term for face?
Oh, fuck. That's what we were trying to...
Well, I know. So
I'm on Siri.
There's a Yiddish term for face, but it's tukus. But then I always thought that's butt, right?
Tukus is butt.
Okay, tukus is butt for Yiddish. And then I'm like, so then what's the term for the face? It's like this loving term for the face. And so it was nighttime, and we were talking about it in the bathroom, and then he's like, let me ask Siri, but we were kind of getting ready to have sex. So we got in bed, and he's doing Siri, and Siri's coming up with, here's what I found. And then it's
totally wrong.
No information.
It's just a list of Yiddish terms. I'm like, no, Siri, what's the Yiddish term for face? It's like mukis, tukis. It's not tukis, but it's like shmuk. It's like one of these great Yiddish terms for face.
So... it was not coming up easily, and then we find our way from the bathroom into the bed, and then we're in bed, and then I've got my hand under the covers into the important area to get that happening, and he's still on the phone with Siri asking for the Yiddish term for face.
It was in my head, and it was in my head, and I really wanted to know now, and so she's trying to do a very loving action of getting things ready.
I'm just preparing the hearth.
Oh, you like that, did you? You got a kick out of that. You're just being a good wife, aren't you?
was trying to do my wifely duties.
cradling the balls and stroking the shaft as a good wife. And I was like,
And
Siri,
you were talking to Siri. You were cheating on me with Siri.
And I was trying to rephrase the questions
In
like,
Yiddish.
no, the Yiddish term for face. No, the face slang for Yiddish face. And she's like, whatever it was she was doing. Do you know that once my wife got her jaw misaligned and had to go to the chiropractor early on in our relationship? And I
back when I was more loyal and actually gave really long blowjobs.
Oh my God,
because I didn't have enough integrity to say "fuck you, motherfucker." I ain't doing this shit for 10 hours.
It's integrity that stops
It's
the blowjobs.
integrity that stops the blowjobs.
That's a horrible thing to say. That's like
It's genetic
I have
preservation.
self-esteem. The blowjobs stop here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then I was at the chiropractor and he's like doing a cranial adjustment. He's like, "What? Your jaw's really out. What did you do? What happened? Did you have your No, he goes, "Did you have your mouth open for a really long time?" Like I didn't know how to answer that. How do you answer that? Well, doc,
I feel like
I was
such
eating
a fucking setup question.
a jawbreaker.
While
I drove to Orange County. Is that right?
I decided to see how long I can keep my mouth in an uncomfortably long open position. I was just testing it for some experiments that I was doing. I took it as a personal victory that you came home and said you had to get an adjustment, TMJ kind of an adjustment.
Uh-huh.
God, that would suck.
I want you to know my jaw is permanently out of place.
Wow. I take it as a personal victory.
When I open my mouth,
Uh-huh.
it clicks.
Yeah.
And I can't fix it.
I hope that
think it's 'cause of
hope
your
it never
penis.
goes away. I hope that you forever have
Then
jaw
I'm going to be
problems.
like 80 like this. I've been with my husband for 60 years.
No way, I
And
don't.
we're still sexually active. Can you tell?
Yeah, but I don't want this to happen if it affects blowjobs where you're like
My husband loves blowjobs.
Jenna, you're like, I can't.
We have a great marriage.
I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't.
You know what? You should think into the future because look, when your jaw's out of alignment, you can't open your mouth. And I'll be like, just the tip, hun. I can only do the tip now.
I ain't the lady I used to be. It's gonna be a lot of flicking, right? I feel like we've gone over the fucking edge.
You know what? If that's our problem when we're that age, that we need to high five each other.
I feel like we've gone over the fucking edge.
I just don't know that I'm gonna want to be down there when you're that old.
Why not? Dude, what's the fucking deal with guy genitalia as they get older?
I don't know. I've never seen any.
Well, old man, they just get
I've never
longer
seen old man
and
genitalia.
droopier.
Yeah.
At the spa I go to, I'm getting freaked fucking out. Shit fucking gets weird.
It's gravity, right?
Shit fucking happens. You get old man balls. You get old fucking man balls.
Boy.
Can I get a ball tuck as I get older? Can I get a ball tuck?
Yeah, you just get fixed while you do it.
Fixed. Oh, snip?
Yeah, have them snip and then tuck and sew.
I get it.
Bring that shit up.
I get a snip and a tuck. Dude, what's the deal on the
Does the
nip?
penis get longer or just the balls? I mean, does the penis sort of go...
I don't know. Is there a class we can take? Is there a video I can watch? Because I know at the spa it's really fucking
What do
scary.
you see at the spa?
Like,
I'm asking you. You
old
see the
men.
balls, but are you not looking at the penis?
I'm trying
How
to
do you
look at
know all
anything,
about the
but
balls?
It's
but not
frankly,
the
it's so
penis?
alarming. You can't help but notice it's like the balls are at the midsection of his thighs. Like they get really fucking low. And as I gander that, as I crest that, and I'm in my early mid 40s, I've noticed a slight exaggeration to the shape. I guess we should say nothing like that.
I haven't
but I'm
noticed anything.
good, but
Not
also,
like coming out of your boxers yet or
but
anything.
also how are you going to notice? It's a slight change. It's like you don't notice a mountain moving. it's like a daily ball. It's not overnight. My balls don't like drop overnight. Like for all I know, if you were to like go back to my 20-year-old balls, you could find like, oh shit, there's a good 4 centimeters on those.
Oh.
Fuck.
I still don't understand, though, why you've noticed the balls and not the penis. That doesn't make sense to me.
I guess the balls are so exaggeratingly long as you get older.
It must make the penis look shorter. by proportion.
I don't know. I just know it's alarming, and
Okay.
it's frankly it's scary, and I want to
Yeah.
know, can you get a ball tuck? Is there
sure,
ball tucks?
I'm sure you can.
Yeah?
I just think that.
Here, I'm gonna Google that and find out.
Yes, Siri.
Siri, can you get a ball tuck?
She said she'll pretend she didn't hear that.
Okay, well there you go.
I gotta use that line in our marriage more often.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Well, you'll be able to you'll be able to play with the old balls though.
Those will be fucking in my face.
They'll be on the floor.
They'll be like hitting me in the chest.
They'll be